Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
Hey, cats, it's Kristen, and I'm here with Mary Fain Brandt. Hi, Mary.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I just have to say, I love the title of your show.
The Big Meow.
Yeah.
It's almost
awesome.
like on cue, too. I have all these cats and they're crying and carrying on around the house. And I was like, can you just be quiet?
Yeah, mine just jumped up. So you guys can see her in a minute.
She wants to be on the show.
She does. She's the big meow. You know?
Exactly. I mean, exactly. You know, we're all sassy, mystical, marvelous cats. So
there you go.
Mary, tell us a little bit about LinkedIn. I mean, you're an expert, you're a LinkedIn guru. What do we need to know about it these days?
That you need to be on there, even if you're on other social media platforms. So, you know, the pandemic changed things for everyone, and people are like, Mary, I need to grow my network on LinkedIn because that's where the business meetings are happening. I was like, well, it takes a little time, but my advice to anyone, whether you're on there, you're thinking about it, maybe you're an Instagram expert, even my colleagues that are Instagram experts, like Brittany Crescent. I don't know if you know her. She dances and drinks wine on Instagram. She's amazing. She's on LinkedIn now.
I could drink wine on Instagram,
right?
But I'm not much of a dancer.
But my point is that LinkedIn is where you build your professional network. Every platform serves a purpose, but a strong and strategic professional network will serve you now and in the future. And if 2020 taught us anything, it taught us to be prepared and ready to pivot and change. And you know what you need to do that? You need a network that can support you. So that is my biggest tip, is to continue to grow your network on LinkedIn and be open to connecting with amazing people that are outside your comfort zone or outside the scope of work that you do or outside your local state. You know, it's a global network. And I'm fortunate to say that I know people all over the world. And when I say I know, because people are always like, Mary, you have like almost 13,000 connections. Do you actually know them? I would say the first 4,000, probably not, but I think I know 80% of my network. We've had a conversation, we've engaged on LinkedIn, and I can say that I could go to them and say, hey, could I get some help with this project?
I mean, that's how you and I connected through LinkedIn. And, you know, and I think that having a network, especially for women, now more than ever, it's so important because, you know, when you're an author, a speaker, a coach, a cat, you know, you're isolated sometimes. You're sitting at home in your, you know, silo, working on your craft, writing your books, you know, and I just think that it's amazing who I've connected with through LinkedIn, even for just doing this podcast. I mean, amazing women.
There are amazing, talented thought leaders on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, you know, you go to have these conversations for getting guests on your podcast, or maybe, you know, I say the 3C method is what I created because of the pandemic, because I was getting a lot of spam. So I created the 3C method, which is connect, cultivate, and convert. So connect, right? Connect with people on LinkedIn, cultivate the relationships. Don't just connect and then ghost them. Like, connect with people that you genuinely want to learn from, you want to empower, you want to collaborate with. So continue to cultivate the relationships. And you can do that through your content as well. So I love to inspire and educate. You know, I'm a trainer at heart. So I love to inspire and educate. And with women, what I find is I love to empower them to use their voice on LinkedIn. A lot of professional women think that they can't talk, that they ride a Harley, or they love rock and roll music, or, you know, that they're a scuba diver. Like, they feel to be seen as the professional executive or professional woman that they are, that they can't share who they are. And so if anyone is listening, right, that is your lesson today, is to be you. I want you to infuse your personality, and I want you to share who you are outside of your professional world, because that makes you more relatable, right? And it goes to the know, like, trust factor. We hire people, we collaborate with people that we know, like, and trust. And when you show who you are as a person, it makes you more relatable and easier to have conversations with.
I so agree with that. But I will tell you one thing, that sometimes when I'm on LinkedIn, and when people treat LinkedIn like Facebook, and they're just going into those big, giant, like, personal dialogue postings, I'm like, do you understand the platform? I mean, it's kind of a peeve of mine, because, like, there is a social platform for that. Can you just talk about
Right.
what kind of content to put on LinkedIn, so that you're still building your
Sure.
career, you're building your network, but it's a business platform?
It's the business social platform. And so
Mhm.
here's an easy rule: 80-20. 80% should be content that is professional, what you do, who you help. You're at conferences, educating yourself, right? Investing in yourself. Maybe you're at a networking event. That is all professional. And then 20%, you can share about who you are. Maybe you're out volunteering in the neighborhood. That's acceptable. What's not acceptable, as we saw last year, was the CEO crying because he had to let go of employees, and it literally, like, happened that day. He's like, oh, I feel so bad. Like, he was
You're like,
having a tear fest. Like, I get it. What would have been better was writing about that 2 weeks later, saying, hey, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do as a CEO was to let go of 10 of my highly qualified, experienced staff. I'm not sure if anyone's gone through that. And I hope I handled it properly. That would have been more a reflective post, would have been better than in the moment crying. It's not a place, so Instagram, right? I love to watch Instagram reels for dancing and food. Like, I love watching people make stuff. That's what I go over there for. That doesn't belong on LinkedIn.
no.
Now,
Mm-mm.
maybe if you're a chef trying to open a restaurant and you're showing your talents, maybe you do a reel once in a while on LinkedIn, a small, quick video. But that's not where that kind of content lives.
Mm-mm.
Although fun videos can live on LinkedIn as long as they're tied back into your business.
Yeah, no, I think that is so important. So what would you say to other cats who aren't using LinkedIn right now, and they want to get started? I mean, manage our expectations. How long does it take? And I will tell you that there are a lot of spammy requests that
Yeah.
are out there. And when I first started, I didn't know any better. And so I was a little bit like that too. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm like, that's not working very well. I got to change up my game, So give us some getting started insider tips.
Sure. So, first off, you want to ring my bell, because I drop tips every week. So
Mhm.
literally ring my bell on LinkedIn so you get notified. And if there are other thought leaders that you want to follow and hear what they're saying, what they're posting about, ring their bell on LinkedIn. So the beginning stages. You probably need to go back and dust off your profile. It might need a makeover. Maybe you have different services. Maybe you did release that book. Do we know that? Did you share about that? Maybe you have a podcast. Are you sharing it on LinkedIn? Right? So go back through your LinkedIn profile. Is your background banner readable on mobile? Because what is it? 50% of users are on their mobile.
I'm
So
taking notes.
so you need to make sure, and I just helped someone today. I looked at their banner, I get the message they were trying to convey, and guess what? Some of the text was cut off because it was behind his profile photo. So look at those aesthetics. And you want to stand out, record a cover video story. It's 30 seconds and people get to see and hear you, again, making you more relatable. You're not a bot, right? I mean, we have the invasion of AI, which, don't get me wrong, I'm all in on the AI. I love it. We have to use it responsibly. But now more than ever, because of AI, you need to showcase who you are as a person so
Yeah,
that
I
you're
am a
more
human.
I am a human. So,
Mhm.
create that great background banner, a great headline that tells people what you do, how you help them, and the benefit. So who do you work with? How do you help them? And what do they get out of working with you? So there's the three, I call it the recipe for a hot headline, you know?
Love
Um,
that. I love that.
and then I always say that LinkedIn, you can use the free version and be very successful, but you also need to complete all the sections. People sometimes they just put their about you section and they put like 4 sentences. You get 2,600 characters and it's free real estate. Use that. Tell your story. Tell people what problem you solve and make sure that you have a call to action at the bottom. You can't assume that people will know to grab your freebie, book a call, check out your website, tell your readers what you want them to do next.
Let's talk about like LinkedIn ads. I mean, should people run LinkedIn ads?
So I actually am not a specialist in LinkedIn ads, but I have some colleagues that are, and LinkedIn ads work well for high ticket items. You have to know your audience. Probably pay someone to do that. My buddy AJ Wilcox, he's the master at LinkedIn ads. That's who I refer everyone to, but it's not for something that's under $2,000. I would say
I've heard they're kind of up there.
Yeah, well, so LinkedIn ads are pricey, right? And they work well with higher ticket items. They don't work well with a $1,500 coaching package.
No.
Yeah.
What about going live on LinkedIn?
So I have a live show, 15 Minutes of Fain. We took a little hiatus at the beginning of the year, but we're back. I'll be on there next Tuesday, and live shows are great, but you need to be consistent. And I feel like shorter is better. But again, here's the thing, you guys, you need to test things out. What does your audience want to see?
Right.
Do they want an hour? I also feel like panels, excuse me, are really great on LinkedIn when you're doing a live show. I was just on one last month and there were four of us experts and the host. So you're getting different viewpoints, right? So it's a little more engaging and interesting. So I think live shows still work, as do LinkedIn audio events. But again, it's about testing it and building your brand. I had a LinkedIn audio event last year with my co-host, Laura Bayshore. We ran it successfully up to January 30th, and we ended it because we're launching a podcast. We're turning it into a podcast. We were testing it out. Like, can we work well together? Do we have enough content? At one point, LinkedIn Loop picked it up and we had 890 people registered for our LinkedIn audio event.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to ask you again, because you're the expert on all things LinkedIn. It seems like, what about Sales Navigator?
Love it. Should
Me
have
too.
it. It gives you such, it just makes the search, right? The filters are so good in Sales Navigator. So if you're on LinkedIn trying to make that money, looking for your ideal clients, you want to get in front of them, Sales Navigator is the thing that you should pay for. It's like $80 a month. But if you pay for a year, you get a discount.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you have a philosophy? What's your business or life philosophy?
Oh, my so my business philosophy is to always give back. And that's my life philosophy too. So with summits that I do with my LinkedIn Local Phoenix, we always give back to a nonprofit local. So I'm originally from San Diego, moved to Arizona.
Okay. I have to ask, what part?
Like Mission Valley, Serra Mesa, like
I lived in Del Mar.
Oh yeah, my dad lived in Oceanside. Yeah,
close.
Yeah.
North of La Jolla. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So moving here, I didn't have that large of a network in person, right? Online, but in person. And I feel that wherever you live, I really feel that it's our responsibility to give back to our local communities with our time, talents, and treasures. So I like to partner up with nonprofits and donate my time, my money, or do drives like luggage drives for foster kids. And we did a socks, slippers, and sweater drive for seniors at Benavia. So that is my philosophy in life.
I have a ton of luggage. I wish you were in my neighborhood. Every time I go on vacation, I buy too much. I have to get another suitcase.
Oh, how funny. Just find a foster organization, foster kid organization, because the kids that are aging out don't have luggage and they have to carry their belongings in a trash bag.
Oh my God, I'm absolutely going to do that. Thank you also for that tip. So what's next for you?
Well, launching a podcast next month. Ironically, it's focused on careers. So our B show was the B show where we drink coffee and talk about career tips and trends. We're launching how to become the CEO of your career, because
I love
we
it.
want to encourage and educate people that now is the time to be the CEO of your career. Don't wait for your company or your boss to promote you to give you those next responsibilities. And I think that we've seen that now you really have to own your career. You
Oh,
have to make it
absolutely.
happen. And I work with a lot of people that have been at their job like 5 years, 10 years. And I'm like, it's time to go. Like the
Yeah.
average length of a job
Mix
now
it
is
up.
3 years. If you've been there 3 years, I'm like, what's next? If you think staying at a job for 10 years is gonna bring you the money, the title, and all that, I'm here to tell you those days have gone.
I think that's true. I think that's true. You see it whether you're an entrepreneur or you're working for somebody, that you have to iterate, you have to evolve, you have to grow, because
Yes.
whatever you were doing before, all of a sudden it just won't be working, or it'll be like plateaued. It just
You'll
kind of
plateau.
it
Even in your
plateaus, and it's
coaching
like,
and consulting business, you change.
yeah,
And for me, when you said what's next, I'm all in on AI. I'm in a
me too, I
program
love AI.
to be a certified AI trainer, how to create your own AI persona, which is going to save you time. And AI is not going to replace people. It's just going to make our jobs more efficient and help us be better writers and get more things done quicker.
Oh, absolutely. I was on Chat GPT last night, and I got all this content done in such a short period of time. But I'll tell you, everybody wants to be on there. So there's a little bit of a waiting list, time waiting.
Yeah,
to get
I
on there.
signed up early, but it was down yesterday for me.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, let me in. So where can we find you?
So Master It with Mary, that's my website, masteritwithmary.com. You can go on there, look at what services I offer. But you know what? I'd love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, but send me a personal note and tell me that you heard me on this podcast, so I will accept it.
Absolutely. Mary, thank you so much for being on the Big Meow.
I love it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.